G'day, c***. It's so frustrating because I need to get out content, but like I have no ideas, but I have to put it out quick, as quick as possible. So I don't know what to do. Hello world, this is me. Welcome to Sardonic Pickle show. I'm Dave. This is the next episode, obviously. Yeah, you're watching a video on YouTube. Most likely on your phone, I'm guessing. Thank you for putting my image on your cellular device. I'm happy to be in your phone. It's cozy, warm.
Today on Mixed Bag, we're gonna do a little bit of Game & Watch.
Yes, we are!
This is Armor Battle. Alright. Oh,
Oh.
something's happening. Oh.
Oh dear.
Okay.
So what?
This is a Mattel game.
Right. So you have to...
Is it a game? Is it though? Next. Game A. Oh, I'm the little guy.
Where? What little guy? Up the top?
No, man. Oh, hang on. No, it's diagonals, you
Yeah.
see?
Yeah, I don't see, but...
Yeah, I'm cleaning up the bananas as he goes along, you see?
Okay. Oh, you have to save
no,
him.
no.
Oh, right. You have to stop him from slipping.
I don't know how to get over there.
Oh, he slips.
It's these two. Oh, I see. I got it. Okay, so there you go. And then there. Now this is gameplay. I'm telling you now, we were hard up motherfuckers in the 80s.
Desperate for anything.
No. And then, oh, no! Have a chop at that,
I'll have a
Davey.
chop.
These are your buttons for that side, and then these ones are the ones for the other side.
Got it.
Okay.
Alright, how do I start?
I'm not sure. Oh, game B. Uh-oh.
So, what have you done? Okay.
So then you press those buttons to get over there. It's one of them.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And then down there, that be
Yep.
the red button, I believe.
Oh, fuck's sake. Freaking... Oh, wait. I'm confused. Slow down.
Back in the 80s in primary school, this is games.
Hey, it's still more gameplay than Last of Us 2.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, David. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
that
those
yellow
two.
one.
Ah.
And then that would be the red one, I'd say.
Yes.
And then down.
Yes.
You have it, David. You have
Ah.
it. That silly boy. Look, they look like Popeye.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not. This isn't really a Nintendo one either. It looks like a knockoff.
Yeah.
The giveaway is where it says Polystol and Banana Sabane. Okay.
This is
Now-
fun. This is exciting, dude.
In school holidays when I was a child,
Yeah.
this is what you would play in your free time. Everyone would bring their Donkey Kong and...
I'm so sorry, dude.
You have an elephant, I believe. Let's take a look.
Shoot.
Shoot.
Shoot
Off.
what?
A. Oops, looks like it started. Got some shooting. There, shoot.
Yep.
Shoot.
You have to bomb an elephant? That's horrible. Oh no. You gotta save the elephant.
I'm not sure what's going on.
No, you gotta shoot your water to stop
Oh!
stop the
Okay.
the
Oh, look at that!
bomb.
I can't work out the control, David. Look at these little...
Look at how horrible his trunk goes into his face.
This is what everybody wanted for Christmas
Oh, did they?
in like 1983 and 1984.
Oh, good. I'd want it as well.
Oh, my heart was broken. I'll show you a game that I had as a child.
Yeah.
It broke my heart
Oh.
because I I saw that you could plug it into the mains, and I was sick of running out of batteries. But as a child, you don't know anything about different polarities and the rest of that shit.
Yeah.
So I plugged it into my grandmother's keyboards,
Aha!
and it destroyed it.
Oh,
And
no.
I've never been so heartbroken. And I'm going to show you that game in a moment.
Alright. Well, at least you have technology now where you can
My
play
dreams
that
were
game
dashed,
again.
but I actually think that did inform me later years of the way that I look at video games and trying to find other means to obtain video games without too much.
Emulation! Piracy!
No, that's a dirty word, David. This is the game that broke my heart.
The one that got away.
It was definitely. I loved it so much when I received it. It just blew my mind, you know. And then I just went and fucked it. There's the power. Okay, so where's the start? There it is. So quite good. You'll see. You get a little spaceship there. You're moving back and forward, you know, and you just shoot them. It's kind of like Glaga.
Oh, yeah, yep.
It's got lovely, colourful graphics that are actually discernible.
Yeah.
And it has multiple levels. This one. So it has the dock the rocket bit, like the top of the rocket's coming from the top of the screen.
Yeah.
And then you have to land it on the bottom and all these kind of things.
The top things look like nipples, but we won't. Well, I already addressed that.
That's not a bad thing. I mean,
Nipples
we
aren't
could do
bad.
with more nipples,
Right.
depending. Well, probably not male nipples. What's the point of male nipples anyway? Nobody knows. So, like I said, I got tired of the batteries running out, so I plugged in my grandmother's keyboard transformer or whatever you call it, and it fucking fried it. And my mum and dad tried to send it back to the company,
Oh, that's sweet.
and they said no.
Aw.
So I was without a...
Cunts, if you're listening.
Oh, they must have opened it up and gone, this fuckwit's fried this.
Fix it!
Fucking kids.
Fix it! It was
I
his
think
pride
it
and
must have been
joy.
expensive too, because, you know, it was my big Christmas present.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah,
It's a great
looking
game.
back,
You had a pretty shit childhood.
it was-
Yeah.
we're just some hard up motherfuckers.
Thanks for watching, guys. That's Game & Watch.
Fuck me, I'm a nerd. Fuck. Jesus. Hey folks, this is Dave. Just to prove it, it is Dave. I just thought I'd do this video. I come up here pretty close to my house. I'm actually lucky that I've got this bit of bushland to walk through, and I made this video because I want to show you just how unfit I am. As you can hear, I'm breathing heavily already. I'm not overweight, I'm just completely out of shape. So I want to endeavour to not really specifically come here every day, but come here more often. Because look at this hill, for fuck's sake. And the more I walk this hill, the better I'll get at it. I just wanted you to hear how fucking unfit I am. I'm going to continue up this hill, and I guess I'll show you the view once I get up there. Okay, I've reached the top. Let my breath calm down a bit. Listen how quiet it is for suburbia. This is pretty good.
Give me your fags, you cunt.
I'm going to show you the view. This is one of the lookouts. Hey, look, a lizard on a tree. It's tiny, but there's... It's gonna run away from me. There he is. Hey. man. I fucking love reptiles, man. They're so cool. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna catch my breath a bit more here. What do you get when you cross a road with the chicken? Gone crazy here, people. I've gone crazy. I'm telling you, I'm at my wit's end. Here's the thing. Listen. Every time, everywhere I go, everything's normal until I look down, and all I see is feet. There they are now. They follow me. I can't get away. I don't know if they're the same feet, because sometimes they wear different shoes. Sometimes they're not wearing any shoes, they're naked, which is embarrassing. Put some clothes on, you're embarrassing yourselves.
Yeah, it is concerning. He doesn't realize it is his own feet.
Yeah, why are they following me? Oh, they're doing it, see?
Of course, because they're their own feet.
With you a secret, something I like to do, because I work in a shopping centre, so I start early and the shopping centre is quite empty when I get here, so I like to pretend that it's my mansion and I'm just walking down the hallways of my house. Here is my gaming console. It's my Soldier Boy. It's currently operating Space Invaders. There's nothing on the screen though. That's annoying. Here's my coffee machine. This is my dining room. Yeah, it's huge, eh? Because I'm so rich. I even have a library. Yes, I do. It's just over there. There's my car. I like to park it in the middle of the mansion. Don't need a garage. My kids there. So yeah, basically I like to walk down my hallways and yeah, with my coffee. Walk into the vault to get some money. Yeah, let's go. This is my mansion. Paid a lot for it, but I am a billionaire, so hey, that's what YouTube can bring you guys. Keep at it. Lots of cars. Lots of cars that aren't my car. Boo! It's Halloween. Who gives a shit?
The telltale heart. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses. Not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I had all the things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken,
and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object there was none. Passion there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes. It was this. One of his eyes resembled that of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man,
and thus rid myself of the eye forever.
Now this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation. I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man during the whole week before I killed him, and every night about midnight I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh so gently. And then, when I had made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out, and then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. Sounds gay. I moved it slowly, very, very slowly. And so that I might not disturb the old man's sleep, it took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening so far that I could see him as he laid upon his bed. Ha! Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, when my head was well in his room, I undid the lantern cautiously, oh so cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture's eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eyes always closed, and it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man's who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber and spoke courageously to him, calling him by name in a hearty tone, and inquiring how he had passed the night. You see, he would have been very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him while he slept. How long? For? Upon the eighth night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity.
Sagacity.
I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door little by little, and be not even to dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly, as if startled. What was that? Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch with the thick darkness, for the shutters were closed fastened, through fear of robbers. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I had my head in and was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang up in the bed, crying out, "Who's there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle. It's very hard to read by candlelight. And in the meantime, I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed listening, just as I have done, night after night, hearkening to the watches in the wall. Presently I heard a slight groan, and I know it was the groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or grief. Oh no! It was the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it was welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo the terrors that distracted me. I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt, and pitied him, although I chuckled in heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since the first slight noise, when he had turned in the bed. His fears had been ever since growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but could not. He had been saying to himself, "It is nothing but the wind in the chimney. It is only a mouse crossing the floor, or it is merely a cricket which has made a single chirp." Yes, he has been trying to comfort himself with these suppositions, but he had found all in vain, because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim, and it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he never saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a little, very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray, like the thread of a spider, shot out from the crevice and full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue, with the hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I directed the ray as if by instinct precisely upon the damned spot. And now, have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over acuteness of the senses? Now I say, there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, but as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage. But even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon my eye. Meantime the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker and louder every instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I've told you that I am nervous. So I am. And now at the dead hour of the night, amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. Yet for some minutes longer I refrained and stood still, but the beating grew louder. I thought the heart must burst, and now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. I hate it when that happens. Mind your own business. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leaped into the room. He shrieked once only. Only once. And in an instant I dragged him to the floor and pulled the heavy bed over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. Listen closely. I didn't say that, I added that. The night waned. I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse, as you do. I cut off the head and the arms and the legs. And I took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I had been too wary for that. A tub had caught all. When I had made an end for those labors, it was 4 o'clock. It was still dark at midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for what I had now to fear. There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police officer, and they had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. For what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man, I mentioned, was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the place. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his measures secure, undisturbed in the enthusiasm of my confidence. I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted familiar things, but ere long I felt myself pale and wished them gone. Excuse me. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears, but still they sat and still chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued and became more distant. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling, but it continued and gained definitiveness, until at length I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale, but I talked more fluently. A lot more than Dave. And with a heightened voice, and yet the sound increased, and what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much as the sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I rose and argued about trifles in a high key and with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited to fury by the observation of the men, but the noise steadily increased. Oh God, what could I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore. I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the boards, but the noise arose over all and continually increased. It grew louder. And still the men chatted pleasantly and smiled. Was it possibly they heard not? Almighty God! Oh no, they heard! They suspected, they knew! They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I think. But anything was better than this agony. Anything was more tolerable than this derision. I could not bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die, and now again. Hark! Louder! Villains, I shrieked. Dissemble no more. I admit the deed. Tear up the planks! Here, here! It is the beating of his hideous heart! And that concludes the reading of Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe. I hope you enjoyed. Please keep enjoying these books by Edgar Allan Poe. It was a lot easier to read than last year's.
Wow, Jesus Christ! I didn't know it was busy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm in here. Yeah, I read in here sometimes.
Jesus, man, at least lock the door next time, okay?
Alright.
Alright, I'll be going.
Okay.